You know what really separates a good leader from a truly great one? Well, the answer might not be in some business textbook. It might actually be out on the road, or the trail, or the track. We're about to dive into some really powerful leadership lessons that are kind of hidden in the world of endurance sports.
This quote just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? The whole idea that the real classroom for leadership isn't always a boardroom. Sometimes it's the pavement beneath your feet at 6 in the morning. So let's really unpack that connection. All right, so here's where we make that jump from the track to the boardroom. Because it turns out the qualities that make someone worth following, well, they're often forged not when things are easy, but through the quiet, grinding discipline of sport.
And here's the fundamental idea we're going to explore. Things like patience, resilience, consistency. These aren't just athletic traits. Nope. They are the absolute building blocks of truly effective leadership.
Okay, so what's the very first principle we can learn? It's that great athletes and great leaders, they share this really unique relationship with difficulty. They don't run away from it. They actually learn how to work right through it. I absolutely love this term, students of discomfort. Think about it. An athlete on a really long run isn't just fighting the pain the whole time. They're managing it. They're finding a rhythm inside of it. And you know what? A leader facing a tough quarter does the exact same thing. They don't panic. They find that steady hand to guide their team through the storm. And this is the huge mindset shift. It's not about waiting around for the perfect moment or for an easy day to come along. It's about having the discipline to act when it's necessary, not just when it feels convenient. The parallel here is just so powerful. For an athlete, that workout is non-negotiable. It's on the calendar. You just do it. For a leader, accountability is the same thing. It's non-negotiable. Both demand a commitment that goes way beyond your feelings or the circumstances of the day. And at the end of the day, all of this really boils down to one thing: trust. A team trusts a leader for the exact same reason a coach trusts an athlete, because they know they're going to show up day in and day out, especially when it's hard. That consistency, man, it's everything. Okay, so embracing discomfort is the foundation, for sure. But it's not enough to just endure, right? So what's the next step? How do the best of the best move from simply getting through it to actively getting better?
Well, the answer lies in a habit that's an absolute obsession in sports, but honestly, it's often totally overlooked in leadership, and that is measurement. It's all about getting intentional with your own development. Just take a look at how directly these metrics translate from one world to the other. It's not just about the hard performance data, like split times or project deadlines. It's also about the softer data. An athlete's recovery score is just like a leader's read on team dynamics. It's about applying that same data-driven mindset to both the what you do and the how you do it. So the big takeaway here is that real growth isn't an accident. It's not something you just hope for. For the best athletes and for the best leaders, growth is something you actually design. It's a deliberate, structured process that you actively chase down.
So what does a system like this look like in practice? Well, it's basically a feedback loop. It's simple. You measure your performance, you actively go out and ask for feedback to find your blind spots, and then you use all that information to design your path forward. And let me tell you, the stakes here could not be higher. An athlete who ignores their coach, they'll just plateau. But when a leader stops growing, they don't just limit their own potential. No, they put a ceiling on their entire team. But all this focus on individual discipline and individual growth, it's really only half the story. And honestly, it can be a little misleading. Because in sports, just like in leadership, there's really no such thing as a truly solo victory.
I mean, really think about it. That marathon runner who crosses the finish line all by themselves, they're not actually alone. They're the product of a whole team. The training partners who dragged them out of bed, the coach who saw their potential, the whole support system. Leadership is exactly the same.
And this is where the magic really happens. When a team has trust, when everyone has a clear role, when there's that mutual investment, something just clicks. The group becomes capable of things that no single person could ever manage on their own. And it's the leader's job to create that environment, just like a coach builds a team.
So, we've talked about discomfort, we've talked about measurement, and we've talked about teamwork. So, what's the one thread that ties all of this together? This brings us to the ultimate lesson from the track. This is it. Right here, the discipline, the measurement, the teamwork, it all comes back to the mind. Mastering discomfort and driving real growth are first and foremost mental challenges. Leadership, when you get right down to it, isn't really about strategy or tactics, it's about winning the mental game.
And so that leaves us with a pretty big question, a question for you. Reflecting on everything we just talked about, from embracing discomfort to the simple power of just showing up, what hard thing are you putting off, just waiting for the conditions to feel right? Maybe the real lesson from the track is that the perfect time to start is right now.